What if your tiny room could feel twice as open without knocking down a single wall? Believe me, size isn't the limit. With the right design tricks, even a compact room can open up beautifully. Small spaces don't have to be cramped. They can look brighter, taller, and more open than you ever imagined. In this video, I'm sharing 10 genius design hacks. Practical, tested, and surprisingly easy to apply, so your home feels more spacious and thoughtfully designed. And trust me, the last tip is the one most people overlook. So be sure to stay with me through to the end. Alright, first one. Light paint colors. Paint is one of the easiest and most affordable ways to manipulate how a room feels. Lighter shades reflect natural and artificial light, which makes walls visually recede and space appear larger. Warm whites, soft beiges, and pale grays are timeless for this reason. They create an airy backdrop while allowing your furniture and accents to shine without overpowering the room. If you want an extra sense of brightness, choose a satin or eggshell finish instead of flat matte. These reflect light softly, almost like a gentle glow. And remember, too many contrasting wall colors will chop the room into pieces and make it feel boxy. Keep your palette unified and soothing. Here's a designer's favorite trick. Paint the ceiling the same pale tone as the walls. This erases harsh edges and makes ceilings appear higher. For narrow spaces, continuing the same shade on trim and doors creates a seamless, expansive effect. And in warm climates, you might lean into soft blue grays or silvery undertones. They don't just cool the look, they genuinely help a room feel fresher. The walls lay the groundwork, but it's how you play with light that truly expands a room. Statement mirrors. Mirrors are a small space essential because they multiply both light and depth. A large mirror opposite a window can reflect sunlight across the room, instantly brightening dark corners. Even one oversized piece, leaned against a wall, can double the sense of width in a studio apartment. The rule of thumb? Keep the frame minimal so the mirror feels like part of the architecture. Heavy frames call too much attention to themselves, and avoid placing mirrors where they'll reflect clutter. Doubling a messy corner only magnifies the problem. Mirrored closet doors, console mirrors in entryways, or wall-to-wall panels in dining spaces can all visually expand a room. Even the angle matters. Tilt a mirror slightly upward, and you'll reflect more ceiling height instead of floor clutter. Done right, mirrors make a space feel lighter, more open, and often more elegant. Mirrors stretch the view, but the furniture you choose decides how freely you can move inside that view. Multifunctional furniture. In a small space, every piece of furniture should earn its place. That means finding pieces that serve more than one purpose. Think of an ottoman that hides blankets inside, a bed with storage drawers beneath, or a wall-mounted desk that folds away when you're not working. These designs free up precious floor area without sacrificing comfort. Slim silhouettes are key here. A sleek storage bench will feel open and modern, while a bulky chest can dominate the room and make it feel cramped. Nesting tables are another clever solution. Spread them out when guests arrive, then tuck them away to regain floor space. For tiny apartments, Murphy beds or sofa beds can completely transform how the room functions from day to night. The trick is scale. Measure carefully. Furniture that's too large, even if multi-purpose, will swallow the room. Look for pieces that adapt gracefully and support your lifestyle without feeling heavy. Once you've chosen the right furniture, where you place it matters just as much as what you own. Smart furniture placement. A common mistake in small rooms is pushing every piece of furniture against the walls. While it feels logical, it often makes the room look flat and boxed in. Instead, allow a little breathing room. Floating a sofa just a few inches off the wall, anchored with a rug, adds depth and balance. Keep pathways clear. A room feels bigger when you can move straight through without weaving around obstacles. Avoid placing tall, bulky items in front of windows since blocking natural light will instantly make the room feel smaller. If your layout feels predictable, try an angle. Positioning a chair or rug diagonally breaks up rigid lines and creates a sense of movement. Designers often talk about circulation, the natural way people flow through a room. Respect those natural roots, and your space will feel easier, lighter, and more open. When the floor plan feels clear, the next step is to pull the eye upward. Tall curtains. Curtains hung closer to the ceiling draw the eye upward, making walls feel taller. Even if your windows are small, extending curtain rods beyond the frame makes windows look larger and maximizes incoming light. Sheer or lightweight fabrics like linen or cotton keep the look airy. Short curtains, on the other hand, chop the room visually and make it feel squat. If you're renting and can't install rods higher, try a tension rod inside the window frame with long drapery that pulls softly at the bottom. Even this small change elongates the look. For renters who can't drill high rods, a workaround is using tension rods inside the window frame with long panels that pull slightly on the floor. Even this gentle drape elongates the eye. Patterns can also help. Vertical stripes or subtle pinstripes draw the gaze upward, adding perceived height. Just stick to light, airy fabrics to avoid closing the room in. Once the eye moves upward, you'll see how vertical storage can maximize that same effect. Vertical storage. In a small space, walls aren't just walls. They're storage opportunities. Shelving that climbs upward frees your floor and pulls the eye toward the ceiling. Built-ins, tall bookcases, or wall-mounted shelves let you store more without eating into square footage. They're especially helpful in kitchens, bathrooms, or studios where every inch counts. The key is to keep vertical storage edited and tidy. A few books, baskets, or curated objects create a clean, open look. Overloading shelves, on the other hand, cancels the effect and makes a room feel cluttered. Think beyond shelving. Tall coat racks, ladder-style towel holders, and pegboards in kitchens maximize space vertically while staying stylish. These create storage without crowding the floor. Paint or finish tall storage in the same tone as the walls. This reduces visual heaviness and makes the unit feel like an extension of the architecture, not a bulky add-on. Maximizing walls is clever, but balance matters too, especially when styling. Minimal decor layers. Less is truly more in small spaces. Instead of many little objects, choose a few statement pieces that stand out. This avoids a busy look and lets the room breathe. Think one bold artwork instead of a crowded gallery wall, or a sculptural vase instead of a dozen trinkets. Negative space is your ally. Allowing blank walls or open tabletop areas gives the eye room to rest, which in turn makes the space feel bigger. Covering every surface will only close the room. Layering textures instead of objects adds richness without bulk. A chunky knit throw or a linen pillow offers dimension without creating clutter. Handled this way, your space feels personal and expressive, yet balanced by just enough restraint to keep everything harmonious. If you love displaying personal items, curate them in groups of 3. Odd-numbered clusters read more natural and intentional, and they prevent shelves from becoming overcrowded. Minimal layers clear the visual field, which makes lighting even more impactful. Layered lighting. Lighting defines the atmosphere. Instead of relying on one harsh ceiling fixture, layer sources, a floor lamp to brighten corners, wall sconces for depth, or a table lamp for warmth. Balanced light eliminates shadows, which can make small rooms feel closed in. Choose warm white bulbs, around 2,700 Kelvin to 3,000 Kelvin, for a cozy feel. Too bright or too cool, and a small space can start to feel clinical. Avoid overdoing decorative string lights. While fun, too many can feel chaotic rather than chic. Consider scale when choosing fixtures. A small space doesn't always mean tiny lamps. One bold statement lamp can feel airy compared to several small competing sources. Dimmer switches are another secret weapon. They allow you to control mood and function. Bright for tasks, softer for evenings. This flexibility makes a space feel more versatile and, in turn, larger. As we all know, small spaces often force us to choose what matters most. I'm curious, if you had to pick just one, would you prioritize storage, style, or comfort? Alright then, once you master light, color beyond your walls becomes the next dimension. Cohesive color scheme. Consistency is key in small spaces. Too many competing tones shrink a room visually. Instead, stick to a tight palette of 2 to 3 core colors, layered with tonal variations. This allows the eye to flow without interruption, creating harmony and spaciousness. Bold accents still have a place, but let them be strategic. A pillow, a throw, or a single piece of art can provide energy without overwhelming the balance. Patterns should be used carefully. In small rooms, too many busy prints will feel crowded. Flooring ties the palette together more than most people realize. If you can, use one continuous flooring material throughout small rooms. Different finishes can chop up the layout, while seamless floors visually stretch the square footage. Textiles also play into cohesion. Repeating tones through curtains, rugs, and bedding reinforces the color story, making the eye flow smoothly from one zone to the next. A cohesive palette calms the room, and the final trick seals it with clarity. Declutter ruthlessly. No design hack can succeed when the room is buried in clutter. It is the fastest way to shrink a space visually and emotionally. Start with surfaces, clear counters, coffee tables, and shelves so the architecture and light can breathe. Use baskets or hidden storage to corral items and let go of pieces that don't serve you. Respect your space by treating it with care. Keep only what you use or love. Small spaces aren't temporary. They deserve thoughtful curation just as much as large homes do. Think vertically when decluttering. Mount hooks for bags, use wall racks for shoes, and keep floors as open as possible. Even a clear strip of visible floor along walls makes a room feel broader. Digital decluttering counts too. Limit visible cords and electronics. Cable management boxes or under-desk clips keep lines tidy and stop a room from feeling chaotic. Decluttering isn't about minimalism. It's about creating room for you to actually live. Every small space has the potential to feel expansive when styled with intention. And if you want even more tricks to transform your home, join me in this next video.